An unlikely team of researchers and, get this, tiger sharks has discovered the world's largest seagrass ecosystem. It's been hiding in plain sight just off the coast of the Bahamas. The results appear in Nature Communications. This is Scientific American's Science Quickly. I'm Joseph Polidoro. As ecosystems go, seagrasses are right up there with rainforests and coral reefs.
But it's actually one of the most important hubs or magnets for biodiversity.
Austin Gallagher is a marine biologist and CEO of Beneath the Waves, an ocean conservation nonprofit. Seagrasses are nurseries to a fifth of the world's largest fisheries and are shelters for thousands of species. They protect other habitats and coastlines, and they store enormous amounts of carbon that would otherwise be released into the atmosphere.
It's sort of this, incredible unsung hero of ocean conservation.
But as much as half the world's seagrass is yet to be found. We're protecting these critical ecosystems with surveys that are as accurate as an early Renaissance map of the New World. That's because unlike mangroves and warm water coral reefs, seagrass meadows aren't always picked up by satellite or airplane observation. Cloud cover and glare from the seafloor also keep the Bahamas seagrass hidden.
So there's a lot of false negatives and a lot of false positives.
Carlos Duarte is a marine ecologist at King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Saudi Arabia.
If I had tried to do it myself, probably I wouldn't have never tried.
For decades, Carlos had suspected that the Bahama banks might host an enormous seagrass habitat, but he couldn't prove it.
Remote sensing will never produce a reliable record, and then ground truthing the Bahamas banks because of the sheer size proved impossible.
By the way, ground truthing is establishing the on-the-ground truth by direct observation. For seagrass, that's usually done by divers or by researchers on a boat.
I really believe that if we had not come together like we did, this discovery might not have happened.
Then by chance, Carlos met Austin and saw footage from Austin's shark-mounted cameras.
And we saw these vast underwater seagrass meadows.
Carlos had found his ground truthers.
Tiger sharks were the total game changer of this whole process. And tiger sharks love seagrass habitat. So tiger sharks are this incredible ally.
But how do you collaborate with a large carnivorous shark?
These tiger sharks have teeth that are capable of doing serious damage. And that's not, demonizing them. That's just a fact.
For the study, Gallagher's team caught 8 tiger sharks and outfitted them with satellite tags. The researchers also attached cameras to 7 more sharks. At first,
waves crashing, it's just hectic. Nature, everybody's shouting, we're reeling this animal in, trying to restrain it, put a tail rope around its tail, fasten it to the side of the boat.
Once the shark is secured,
well, it's actually kind of amazing. It just kind of chills out and actually is quite peaceful.
In 12 minutes on average for each shark, the team took measurements, collected blood samples, and installed the recording equipment. The sharks were then released to roam the bank's seagrass meadows. The tiger sharks were much better observers than humans.
About 70 kilometers per day, 24/7.
They're also 1/5 the cost of humans or drones. By combining the shark footage and location data with thousands of boat and diver surveys, the team could correctly interpret the satellite images,
ultimately revealing the world's largest seagrass meadow up to 93,000 square kilometers.
That's about the size of Portugal and nearly 40 times the size of original estimates. The find increases known seagrasses globally by 1/3. The world's remaining undiscovered seagrass meadows will be smaller, Carlos says. To map them, Carlos will use another charismatic denizen of seagrass ecosystems, sea turtles.
So we're doing that now in the Red Sea, and then actually getting a very reliable mapping not only of where seagrass meadows are, but the individual area that they cover.
Carlos and his colleagues will soon be exploring near the Maldives and other archipelagos and island nations in Southeast Asia. Mapping seagrasses not only helps us protect them, it may also benefit the people who live near them.
So when you look at the carbon assets that sit in the seagrass meadow and the avoided emissions that can be achieved through conservation, and then apportion them to 300,000 people.
He's referring to the population of the Bahamas, now over 350,000 people.
Basically, every Bahamian owns $1 billion on carbon credits.
The team's work also puts sharks in a new, more flattering light.
These tiger sharks led us to the seagrass meadows. We now know that this is going to be a huge benefit for people of the Bahamas moving forward. It really demonstrates that if you protect the sharks, then you could potentially protect the people.
No small accomplishment for 15 tiger sharks and their human colleagues. For Scientific American's Science Quickly, I'm Joseph Polidoro. Science Quickly is produced by Jeff Delvicio, Tulika Bose, and Kelso Harper. Subscribe to Science Quickly wherever you get your podcasts, and follow scientificamerican.com for updated and in-depth science news.